Lights, camera, rolling, action. I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
He's looking at you, kid.
Say hello to my little friend!
Hi, this is Joe, and this is the Filmjoe podcast, where film talk happens.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Hi, I'm Joe, and I'm here with Daisy.
Hello.
And welcome to the Filmjoe podcast, where we talk about films, filmmakers, trends, the good, the bad, and the not so bad, all in the spirit and for the love of film. So this week we are comparing one of my all-time favorites from 1980, John Carpenter's The Fog, with the remake that came out in 2005. So this is going to be interesting. I think this is one of your favorites as well.
You know what though? I can't really say that it's one of my favorites, especially since I saw it so late in I don't know, my movie watching career, I guess you can call it.
Right?
I never seen this movie until some years ago, and it's freaking awesome. I think it's really a unique horror movie. I totally dug it.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I look forward to talking about this one. Now, for everybody, please keep in mind, remember, we're not professional film critics here, so don't call us out and say, oh, you guys don't. We're just film lovers who love to talk about films, right?
Exactly.
Right. So now, based on the film we are discussing on this episode, we're going to go on the Filmjoe scale of 1 to 10, fish hooks.
Ooh, okay. All right. Not too bad.
Right. There you go.
I would have gone with barnacles, but yeah.
Barnacles is kind of good too.
Barnacles. But then again, it does kind of give me a SpongeBob vibe. So, well, we'll go with fish hooks.
Okay, yeah, because this is far from SpongeBob. Nothing close.
Barnacles.
Yeah. So, by the way, you mentioned that you're getting your pool cleaned up and everything ready for the spring and summer.
Oh my God, yes. After like a really cold ass winter out here, I just recently moved to Afton, New York, and so now it's starting to get really nice and warm. We're getting the pool ready, and I can't wait. The summer out here is just so promising. So much to look forward to. I just came back from a really cool fair out here at where's it, in Bainbridge, and oh my God, it was beautiful.
Wow. So you get that whole small town feel.
Definitely, yes. It's totally different from the city life, to be honest. Bainbridge is a little neighboring town to Afton, and every year they have a fair, and they have like this really cool canoe race that goes from one part of town to the other. They have hot air balloons, and then the food, they have all the corn dogs, funnel cakes, and
Oh,
without the crowds.
wow.
I don't know if you ever been to the Orange County Fair.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love it. But this one, oh my God, it's no crowds. But my daughter, she was there with us, and she actually bumped into a couple of her schoolmates, and
Wow.
everybody knows everybody.
Wow, that is so cool. I'm so jealous. I mean, the closest I got to a river over here or a stream is the fucking LA River that runs under the bridge of the 22 freeway out here.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, and then the drive over there, it's just so beautiful and green. No
Wow.
traffic. No road rage.
Wait a minute. No traffic? Is that a thing? I mean,
No freaking traffic. I'm gonna
wow.
start. Yeah, no freaking traffic jams. You get in your car, you get there. That's it. No stress.
Wow. Yeah, well, I can wait. I'm headed out there April of next year for your birthday, so I'm
I
really
cannot
looking
wait.
forward.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I cannot wait to show you around. We have the Baseball Hall of Fame out here.
Oh.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, I've never been happier. And
Wow.
yeah, it's awesome.
Wow, I can't wait. It sounds really, really beautiful. I mean, again, I just get super jealous. I mean, I like Orange County. I've been out here for about 12 years or so, and it's a big difference from LA. Orange County is about 30, 40 miles southeast of LA. And it's a different vibe out here, but nothing like the Mayberry town that you guys got. That sounds really awesome.
Oh my god, yeah, it is amazing. And it's not the city of Afton, no. It's the village of Afton.
Oh, excuse me.
The
Whoa.
village of Afton. Yes. I mean, yeah, we have our own little tiny little market. We have a little post office,
Wow.
our little library. I mean, it's beautiful. You go outside and you hear all the different types of birds and, little squirrels running by.
Oh yeah,
You know,
we got squirrels. Oh no, fuck it, they're rats. Never mind.
no, you guys have, you do see squirrels sometimes in the backyard. Not like here. I seen a freaking, what is that? A groundhog hanging out
Oh,
near my pool the other day.
wow, that is cool.
Yeah,
That
we
is
call him,
cool.
he's our little fat bastard. He's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, that's just amazing. I like again. I just can't wait to go out there next year. So,
Once you
uh,
visit, you're gonna want to stay.
oh, well, I do plan to retire out there someday. So, be cool.
Yes, definitely. We can, grow old, out here together, drinking our lemonade and iced teas on our
And
porch.
and record the podcast.
That's right, because the Filmjoe podcast will still be going.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, talk about film. Have you seen the new trailer for Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley?
Oh my god, yes, yes. I'm like, yeah, it looks so freaking awesome. I love that we saw the familiar faces, including the actor that was in Perfect Strangers. I
Oh,
want to say he was there.
yeah, Bronson Pinchot. He's back.
Dude, yes. I'm like so freaking stoked.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like a Beverly Hills Cop film. Now, because there's three already that were made.
Yeah,
But
so this is the fourth one.
this is the fourth. And for those of you who haven't seen him or haven't seen him for a while, do a rewatch. Except part three. Part three was hard to watch.
Oh, was
Um,
it? I don't think I've ever seen part three.
yeah, and what's interesting about part three is that it's directed by John Landis. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and John Landis directed Eddie Murphy in Trading Places and in Coming to America.
Okay. But totally different feels though.
Yeah, yeah. So part three was pretty bad, but the trailer for the new film looks just amazing. It is Eddie Murphy at his best, and
And that man does not freaking age. What kind of freaking water is he drinking?
oh, tell me about it. I mean, you have Billy, the character Billy. I forgot his name. He looks haggard and old. I mean, well, he is, but Eddie
Oh,
Murphy, he looked like he only aged like about 4 years.
seriously, a little bit chubbier, but I mean, he looks flawless.
Yeah, amazing. So I can't wait. And also the at the time of this recording, we just got the new trailer for Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Yes. Oh my god.
I I don't know what to say. I was speechless when I saw because they released a teaser trailer. I think it was last month.
Yeah, yeah. They gave us
And,
a whole lot more this time, and oh my god, I can't wait.
yeah, you know what? This summer and this year, it's for the old schoolers, the OGs who knew how to make great Hollywood movies.
Yeah, no, definitely this summer has great potential for movies. This year
Yeah,
period.
yeah, absolutely. And there's hardly any Marvel superhero stuff out there. So
Don't get us wrong. We love ourselves some Marvel, but it was just too much, It's like when you eat too much candy, it just, gives you a toothache. You can't no more.
yeah, I fucking wanted to throw up. I ate so much candy; it was ridiculous at one
Yeah.
point.
I mean, it was a great run, but it's time to let other movies shine.
Yeah, and I think that's we're slowly kind of getting back to that era of more diverse type of films.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so now let's segue here. There was no segue, but uh, we got this segment that we like to call "If I Could Remake One Film." And all right, and what we do here is that we each pick a film, we get a cast, a director, describe the general plot of the film, and why we want to remake it. All right.
Okay, yes, I can't wait.
All right, let's do this. So you go first.
I will go first. Okay. So, I didn't even write down what year this was made. Maybe you can help me with that,
Okay.
because I know you've seen the movie. If I could remake a movie, I would remake The Last Starfighter.
Holy shit. That's about 84, 83. I'd have to say, roughly.
Yeah. So basically, it's about this kid lives in a little small town in what is that, in a trailer park. Not much of a future. Kind of dismal. His only highlight is a video game machine that's in the park, and he loves to play that thing. And so one day he goes there, and yeah, and the game is called The Last Starfighter, I want to say.
Right,
And
it is actually.
yeah, so he beats he beats somebody's score. He breaks somebody's score. Then all of a sudden, he is recruited into their
Like a space academy for
there you go. Yeah, like a space academy.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so they pick him up and they start training him, and it's an awesome movie. It's really a freaking awesome movie. A movie that literally hasn't been forgotten in time.
It has. It definitely has.
So I think now is the time that they should do this. I think it would be awesome. So for my cast, I only picked
Okay.
two casts. So for the character of Alex Rogan, which is the high school kid, I would go with Tom Holland.
Oh, fuck. That is perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's a perfect combination of geeky, cute, and a little badass.
I can definitely see that.
Yes. And then to play his girlfriend, I would pick Ella Fanning.
Okay. All right.
That's up for debate. I'm not really, well versed with the young generations, little actresses and actors,
Right.
but I thought she was cute. So, I went with Ella Fanning.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
okay. And if I had to pick somebody to direct this, I would either go with, or maybe both. Hey, maybe they can collab.
Okay.
J.J. Abrams and Steven Spielberg.
Oh.
Two of my favorites.
I can see this. I can definitely, yeah. You know what? It's one of those films that it had a great story, great characters, and it was very memorable. Unfortunately, the FX.
Well, yeah, exactly. And now we're at a perfect time for that.
Yeah, in fact, I believe they did do some computer generated imagery, but it was in its infancy, the very beginning, and it looks bad now. But to me, it doesn't take away from the charm and the sweetness of the film.
Exactly. And like I said, not a lot of people know about this movie. So
Okay,
yeah, I would love to see it remade.
okay, I can't argue with that one. I mean, because usually this some like no, you don't touch that, but that one that's ripe for a remake.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so here I go. Ready for this one?
All right, I'm ready.
If I could remake one film, it would be Lady Hawk from 1985. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now, bear with me here.
All right, I'm buried because that's one of my favorite movies.
Yes, mine as well. The film is basically about some hustler thief, young kid. His name is Gaston, who escapes a dungeon from a medieval castle or something, and he crosses through latrines and he escapes. Soldiers are about to kill him, because they're trying to get him. When he's saved by the rogue Navarre, this rogue warrior. And so Navarre, he joins him on his travels, and Navarre has a hawk that accompanies him. And what it is that the hawk is actually his lover, who has been turned into a hawk by a curse by, I think it was some prince or some king.
It was a bishop.
A bishop who was in love with her.
Mhm.
So by day, he is human and she's a hawk, and by night he's a wolf and she's human, and they only get to see each other for a fraction of a second as the sun rises, which is beautiful.
Painfully beautiful. Oh,
So it's a great film. Okay, now why would I remake it? I mean, yeah, first of all, the story's perfect. It's beautiful. It's fantasy, adventure, comedy, romance. But first of all, the score. Didn't like the score.
okay. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think they could have done better.
Yeah, it's a synth score versus an orchestral score, which was very common back then.
Hmm.
And so, and that kind of took the tone off of the film. should be more fantasy driven and so forth. And of course, these special effects in some of the scenes are kind of cringy.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So, but aside from that, it's a great film. But I can definitely see a remake for this.
Okay, all right. I think I'd watch it, but I mean, they gotta do it just right. You
All
gotta
right. Well,
cast it just right. So let's
okay.
hear it.
All right. So for the role of Gaston, which was Matthew Broderick in the original,
Okay.
I'm going with Timothy Chalamet.
Okay, all right.
He was recently in Wonka and in Dune Part 1 and 2.
Okay, okay.
He's young enough looking for the role, and he's very versatile. He can do comedy and goofiness, but also be very serious, which I think kind of would work perfectly for the role of Gaston.
Okay, okay.
Isabeau,
All right.
the hawk, the lady hawk,
Okay,
who was,
because we're dealing with, Michelle Pfeiffer here, who is
yeah,
gorgeous. And
how can you top Michelle Pfeiffer?
exactly.
Well, you can come close with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, you got me there. That's
Yeah.
if I liked girls, she's my girl crush.
There you go. She would be perfect. I mean, she has the acting
Oh,
chops. She has the looks. She's beautiful. You can definitely see her in a romantic fantasy film.
okay, yeah, you got me there. You got me there.
All right, now Navarre, which is the rogue warrior, the lover of Isabeau, right? Who's cursed in his love for okay,
All right, all right.
who was played by Rutger Hauer, who was a badass back in the day.
He was badass. He was definitely badass.
I would cast Kit Harington from Game of Thrones.
Ooh, okay.
Uh, uh,
Uh,
uh. I mean, look, a scene
Oh,
with
God.
Kit Harington and Scarlett Johansson held in a passionate embrace, it would melt the fucking screen.
Oh, dude, that would be nice. That would be beautiful.
Now, the director, the original film was directed by the late, great Richard Donner, who directed such great films as Superman, The Omen, The
Okay,
Goonies, all the Lethal Weapon films. A legend, a legendary director.
definitely.
I would choose a director by the name of Gareth Edwards. What did he direct? He did Star Wars, Rogue One,
Ooh.
Monsters. He recently did a film called The Creator. He did Godzilla.
Okay, all right. I think he could do it.
Yeah, he has a great background in special effects, and he is a very intuitive director, and he can definitely pull this off.
Ooh, yeah, because that's the thing that I have, an issue with remakes is, especially as one is beloved to me as Lady Hawk. I would want them to please do it right. Just all it needs is a polishing. It doesn't need to be rewritten. Just a nice polish of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's because it's near perfect as it is, but like you said, a polishing. And with a director like Gareth Edwards, Rogue One, which to me was the best of the new Star Wars films,
Oh
uh,
yeah, definitely.
they were very focused on the characters and the developments of the background and so forth. He knows how to work the personalized elements of a plot for characters, so I think he would be perfect for it.
Absolutely. Oh wow. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I'd be in the theater right there
Yeah,
watching this.
yeah, there you go. See,
Okay.
I knew you were going to initially be like, no, oh, no, no, no. But with a cast like that and a director like that, you can't freaking lose.
Yeah, Scarlett Joe definitely could put it off. Kit Harington, he's a cutie patootie who knows how to wield a sword, or at
Well,
least he's a good enough actor to portray that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, perfect. Alrighty, so there's our two remakes. Hollywood, if you're listening, take note, please,
And do it right.
and do it right. Absolutely. All right. So now, as for remakes, what do you say we can into this week's episode
All right, let's do it.
for our first film? At the stroke of midnight, 6 must die.
11:55. Almost midnight. Enough time for one more story. 5 minutes. It'll be the 21st of April. It is told by the fishermen and their fathers and grandfathers that when the fog returns to Antonio Bay, the men at the bottom of the sea rise up.
An unearthly fog rolls into a small coastal town exactly 100 years after a ship mysteriously sank in its waters. The film we are talking about here is The Fog from 1980 and is directed by John Carpenter. The film stars Adrienne Barbeau, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Hal Holbrook. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, this is it has to be one of my top favorite John Carpenter films he ever made.
It was awesome. I mean, it was very unique. I mean,
Oh, it's amazing. You know what I love about it, it's a genuine ghost story.
yeah, what I love about it too is that you can almost smell the seawater. You almost feel like you're there. The clammy coldness of the fog. It was awesome.
Oh, it's very atmospheric and very you get immersed into the storyline. I mean, and the trick behind it is John Carpenter's amazing directorial skills, the pulse of his score, which he wrote the music for his film.
That music, that score, it was amazing.
Oh,
Oh, dude,
yeah.
I mean, it gives you that sense of urgency and anxiety.
One thing they did, because Carpenter was definitely going for a ghost story approach, something that you tell around a campfire.
Which is how it opens too.
Exactly, with John Houseman telling the story. And that scene was not in the original cut.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so upon watching the rough cut of the film, once they finished the principal photography, they realized we need to have somebody telling this story. And then it kind of developed into a campfire with kids at midnight. And what more perfect way to start, the story? Because what John Carpenter does right there is he grabs you by the hand. He goes, "Come with me. I'm going to tell you a story."
Yes, exactly.
And it worked. It was great. By the way, did you catch John Carpenter's cameo in this?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, it's so cool. Okay, remember when the priest played by Hal Holbrook, another one of my favorite character actors.
Right.
He when he's in the rectory and he's looking at the notes and the book and all that, I guess the journal, his assistant comes in, he turns off all the lights. In fact, this is during, I believe, when the credits are rolling towards the beginning. And his assistant is going through the church, turning off the lights, turning off candles. That's John Carpenter.
No, you know what? I wondered what happened to that character. I'm like, oh, he gonna get dead.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's like, no, you guys continue. I got to go direct this film.
Dude, yeah, he's like, can I get paid?
Right. But that was pretty neat. I mean, it's funny because he does seem kind of out of place. For those of you who don't know John Carpenter, he's a great director of films like Halloween, Escape from New York, Assault on Precinct 13, and so many other memorable films. He makes a cameo in this, and the way he was a hippie looking kind of dude. He had a long mustache, long hair, bell bottom pants, and so here we got this coastal town, and here comes this hippie walking through I'm like, whoa, he seems kind of out of place.
Severely. I had no idea.
Yeah. Again, let's do a recap on the plot for those who. It's a little sleepy town in Antonio Bay. It's the name of the town, and it's an old town. It's over 100 years old, and they're going to celebrate the 100-year, the centennial.
The birth of the town. Yeah.
Exactly. And then a mysterious fog starts to roll in. And what it is that there was a ship full of lepers that wanted to buy some land nearby so that they can have a leper colony. And so they made an arrangement with the original founders of Antonio Bay. We'll pay you all this stuff in gold and you let us have that land. Cool, right? Well, the fuckers down in Antonio Bay, they're like, okay, cool. They took their gold and like, burn the fucking ship.
Yeah.
and they sink the ship, and all the lepers die. So on the 100th anniversary, they're coming back. These dead pirate-looking things, and they come into the fog, all to reclaim their gold. And the six that must die are descendants of the original six conspirators.
Uh-huh.
Just great storytelling. And again, there's you think, oh, it's a fog rolling in. How fucking scary can that be? How can you build suspense? Well, it's amazing the way he does it with the music. Is a pounding sound score that he pushes in, and he kind of corners you.
Well, yeah, definitely. And you don't get to see much of the, of those, of the pirates or anything. But, you take away one of your senses, like sight, you can't see anything with this fog, but there's something in there that is hunting you.
And that's what makes it more terrifying.
Yes.
So it's just a masterclass in suspense storytelling. Another trick that John Carpenter does, I mean, we'll get to the budgets and money later, but it was obviously a very, very low budget film. But if you look at it, it's filmed in Panavision, widescreen, and it's just beautifully lit. And it looks like an expensive film. But
that's just being smart.
Yeah, he knew how to work camera. He did the same for Escape from New York. He used the best film, really great camera work, with, Panavision cameras, and it gives the look of a very polished, high budget film.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then top that off with a great cast.
Oh,
you got two actors that came from that were in Creepshow,
Adrian Barbeau
uh-huh.
and Hal Holbrook. Oh, love those two.
And then you got two more from the Halloween movies.
You have Jamie Lee Curtis,
uh-huh.
and I forgot her name, but
Nancy
her last
Loomis.
name, Nancy Loomis, who was in the original Halloween. That's right.
And then the original Scream Queen, Janet Leigh.
Janet Leigh, which is Jamie Lee Curtis's mama. And what movie was she in?
Oh, Psycho.
And you know what's great is that these little cameos back and forth, they didn't seem forced or they didn't seem gimmicky.
Not at all. They fit perfectly together.
Oh, it was great. Another actor we forgot to mention.
Oh, he also Creepshow.
What was his name? Something Atkins.
Yeah, I know he was the dad that smacks the crap out of his kid in Creepshow.
Tom Atkins.
Yeah, Tom Atkins. Mm-hmm.
He has a legacy in cheesy horror film from the 80s. You got Creepshow, Night of the Creeps. Yes. What else he was in Halloween actually as well.
Yeah. The part 3, I want to say.
Yeah. So Tom Atkins rocks.
Oh, he was a badass.
So where Tom Atkins comes into this film, he owns a fishing boat in Antonio Bay, and he's driving through town, and he picks up a hitchhiker, which is
Jamie Lee Curtis,
and he's fucking her 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
I'm like, out of nowhere, he's like, oh, where are you going? She goes, you're not a weirdo, are you? No. It's like, and then like a few scenes later, they're in bed together, and then I love the way that it comes about. He goes to her, by the way, what's your name?
I love that.
Which I thought was funny. It was totally out of left field. It really was. Another scene that I loved was the crew of the Seagrass when the Elizabeth Dane, which is the name of the ship that had all the lepers, when it appears out of the fog in the ocean. Oh,
dude, that gave me chills.
It was creepier than hell. You got the music, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
and then they're like, "What is it? It's a ship!" And oh God, I mean, it was.
Great. I have to say that's one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah, it is an incredible scene, and at that, this movie has tons of great sequences.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you know? What Atkins' name was? Tom Atkins. What character he played? Do you remember?
Oh, Jesus, because I saw the remake and Nick Castle. Oh, wait a second. Nick Castle. That sounds familiar.
That is the actor, the name of the actual actor who played the original Michael Myers in Halloween.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So a little homage there to the original Halloween, which, by the way, a little side note, Nick Castle, of course, who was the original Michael Myers, and he was Michael Myers in the 2018 version as well. Mm-hmm. Also an accomplished director.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember a little film called The Boy Who Could Fly.
Yes, I remember that.
Very sweet coming of age film about an autistic boy who thinks he can fly. Well,
Well, he could.
and he could fly. Well, that was directed by Nick Castle.
No, wait, I have to see that movie again. I totally forgot about that movie.
Well, guess what?
Mhm.
When we do our next episode on films that time forgot, that's one of them.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yes, it's definitely a must. But I kind of give away one movie, but there's one more that you're going to really enjoy as well.
Okay, all right, cool.
All right. But I also like the fact that it was very original. Overall, it didn't have a lot of cliches, yet it did.
Mhm.
But the one cliche that just had me laughing my ass off is that you got your typical dumbass character, right? Who's kind of a dumbass. You kind of find him annoying. And he's walking through somewhere. He's in a situation where he hears the creature nearby. And what is his response? Okay, dumbass, this isn't funny. I'm going to kick your ass. And that's Dan, the weather guy who communicates with the DJ.
Oh, he was cool though.
And he gets fucked up.
He was such a cool character.
Yeah. Well, now to further elaborate, for those who you haven't seen it, Adrienne Barbeau, the ever so beautiful brunette actress from several John Carpenter films, she plays a DJ who owns her own radio station, and she transmits out of a lighthouse off of Antonio Bay. And I forgot her voice. What does she sound like?
Hello and welcome to Antonio Bay.
Oh my God. And so that was good.
Thank you. She's freaking awesome.
Oh man. I mean, she was awesome. And so she contacts, she's in regular contact with the weather dude who's always hitting on her with his bullshit one-liners or whatever. And the fog starts to roll in, and he opens the door, and he's like, okay, dumbass, and this is not funny, and he gets eaten or something.
That he gets eaten. But yeah, and the thing is that I love the relationship because they kind of keep each other company, every night. They only know each other by voice.
Right. And which is pretty cool. I mean, and you also get the sense of a small town community, and everybody one way or another, they know each other. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. And, she's supposed to also be like the voice to keep them company when they're out on fishing and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. She's like the siren of the ocean for the sailors who are fishing.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, now another scene that really had me tense was the scene where the fog is rolling in and all shit is breaking loose. And our heroine, played by Adrienne Barbeau.
Oh, yes.
The roof. She gets up on the tiny little roof of the lighthouse, and the fog is creeping up on all sides, and there's hooks coming up on the side off the ladder trying to get her.
Oh, actually, I thought you were going to talk about the scene prior to that, where she's on the radio, realizing that the fog is heading to her house where her little boy is at.
Oh,
and she's crying out for help. My son, somebody please get to my son.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Actress.
Oh, absolutely. And again, hats off again to John Carpenter for structuring a scene like that, because normally, fog can seem spooky, but is it menacing and terrifying? No, but he made it terrifying.
Yes. Oh, and like I said, the urgency with the music. So you have the urgency in Adrienne's voice. Please help somebody. Please help my son. She's desperate, and the music pounding in the background. Oh my God! And then the kid, sitting there, and these fuckers are trying to get through the door. Oh
man, yeah. I mean, again, it's the heart pounding score and the work with the camera, and it's like everything's going fast while the fog is moving in slow. It's just this contradiction of pacing that it's really intense, which is not many directors can pull that off.
Yeah, exactly. And and it wasn't like the your typical kind of scary movie where the evil slasher guy, he's coming to get you. No, it's something that you can't see. It's very unique.
The faceless shape, the monster that you can't see, which is something that he implemented in the original Halloween film that he did. You see the monster, but what do you know about him? You don't know shit about him, and that's what makes him faceless.
And he didn't need all that blood and gore
No.
to freak you out.
Right. Now, going back to Adrienne Barbeau, there's a show on Shudder called Creep Show, which is a TV version of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it's anthology series.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome series.
Yeah, and Adrienne Barbeau, God bless her, so she shows up in the first episode.
What was the first? Because I did see it. I totally forgot what the first episode was.
Yeah, something coming into town and taking over or something. And, she's already aged and everything, but you can still see her grace. And just seeing her there, you're like, yeah, this is where you belong. And it was so great to see. Now, Carpenter and Barbeau were married.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, at the time of making this film.
Trip out.
Yeah. And when he wrote the script, he wrote it specifically for her.
Oh, he did a wonderful job.
Oh, amazing. Now, what's kind of sad is that, okay, on the flip side, when he was doing Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
he was married at the time to Deborah Hill, who was the producer of Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And he had an affair around that time, and that's where they ended up having a divorce during Halloween.
Oh, wow. That's sad.
Yeah, but the consummate professional that Deborah Hill was, she continued to work on the film and just trudged forward. And she maintained a professional relationship with John Carpenter up until her death.
Wow.
Just an amazing producer, director, writer, just an all-around loss in the cinematic world.
Wow.
All right, so what do you say we get into the numbers of this film?
Okay, yeah, let's hear it.
The film cost at the time of production about $1 million.
That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Just the production itself. I mean, it cost $3 million overall to get it out into theaters. But so you're looking in today's dollars about $4 to $8 million in today's money.
Shit. Yeah, that's nothing.
That's nothing. Box office at the time was about 21 million. Which is about $80 million in today's adjusted inflation.
Wow.
Yeah. So the movie basically made about 21 times over its initial budget.
They killed it. No pun intended.
No, killed it. Wow. But it was a unique film. Again, I mean, at the time we had a lot of, that was the beginning of the slasher films, the Freddy Kruegers, the Jasons and so forth, which were great. This was a different approach. This was not a slasher movie. This was a good old-fashioned ghost story.
It was. It was awesome.
Yeah. So now reviews and scores. Kevin Thomas of the LA Times, he basically praised it, calling it an elegant and scary thriller. Roger Ebert, however, gave it 2 out of 4 stars.
Ah, boo.
Yeah. Sorry, Roger. We don't agree.
We don't.
No. IMDb. The film is currently sitting at a 6.8, Metacritic 55, Rotten Tomatoes 75% with an audience score of 65, and Letterboxd 3.5 out of 5.
Wow.
Not bad numbers. I would give it higher numbers, but that's just me being nostalgically biased. But it was a great film.
Yeah, definitely entertaining.
So let's get our reviews and scores on this. You go first.
Okay, so yeah, he set the mood, right off the bat, you feel like you're on a fishing barge with a bunch of crusty old sailors. Yeah, definitely they set the mood. You felt anxious. You felt an urgency just to get the hell away from that fog. It was awesome. Very unique. Mm-hmm. Great storytelling. I love the hell out of that cast. I am going to give it 8.5 fish hooks.
Oh, not bad. All right. Well, to me, I loved it because I love a good old-fashioned ghost tale. And it's exactly what it is. It's heart-thumping with suspense, genuine scares. I mean, you have your jump scares here and there, but the rest is all about suspense and just being creeped out and the building tension. John Carpenter, he is a master orchestrator of suspense. I'm going to have to give this an 8 out of 10 hooks.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. Again, we can't urge you guys enough to watch this if you have not seen this.
It's a classic, definitely. Yeah, it's. I can't put into words how much of a great movie this is.
Yeah, and I think it still holds the test of time. In fact, they recently, I don't know how recent, but they released the 4K restored version of this film.
Ooh, okay.
and very, very deserving of that, which I'm gonna have to pick up somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the next film. All right.
Okay.
The Fog Knows What You Did Last Summer.
Something in the fog. Nick! Where are you? Nick!
A thick mist full of vengeful spirits haunts a prosperous island off the coast of Oregon, and its inhabitants, they begin to learn their own dark secrets that lie deep within their town. The film we're talking about is The Fog from 2005 and is directed by Rupert Wainwright. The film stars Tom Welling, Maggie Grace, and Selma Blair. Okay, now, get the spatula out because we're flipping this right over from where we were before. Okay, so where do we begin? So first of all, we got Tom Welling, who was Smallville's Superman, right?
Right.
Maggie Grace, who, when I started watching this remake, I saw the name in the credits, and I'm like, Maggie Grace, why does that sound familiar? Why is such an impact? I don't like her.
Yeah, is she the blonde?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I hated her character in what I
Yeah.
had seen her in, which was Lost.
There we go. That's why I don't like her.
Yeah, I hated her.
Yeah. Sorry, Maggie, if you're listening to this. Great actress. You
Hey,
obviously.
you know what? You sold it.
Yeah. And
We legit did not like you.
exactly. But yeah, so okay, here we go. This movie was an empty version, a stripped down version
A
of
watered down version.
no pun intended. Hey, but yeah, it definitely had the feeling of like films like I Know What You Did Last Summer and stuff like that.
Which does not work for me in this case.
No. Well, we're not trying to get what they tried to make a horror film.
They
But
failed.
they failed. The Fog technically is listed as horror, but more specifically, it's a suspense ghost thriller. And that's what this piece of shit was not. It was void. It was empty. It was just, they try to convolute the plot and it was just a jumbled mess.
I mean, if you're gonna redo a movie, you gotta look at what made it successful in the first place. And, what can we do to, follow that and make it our own?
Right. I mean, you try, a film is like a stew or a recipe of where you have specific ingredients that make it unique to what it is.
You follow that recipe, and then you're like, you know what? Let's put in some paprika. Let's put in, some oregano.
Yeah, and in this one, they dumped in some dog shit.
Basically,
Oh man,
it was
It's
hard for me to look at.
it was, and I had to force myself to finish it, but yeah, it was just a mess. They, again, they named the characters the same, they kept that the same, the name of the town, Antonio Bay, and so forth, but
And certain things they did follow through with, like the scene where that wooden plank catches on fire at the radio station. They did
right.
follow that, but it wasn't the same feel. It
Yeah.
fell short.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the mistake with a lot of remakes is that they say, "Well, this is our version. This is a different version."
Exactly. Like, okay, what was the name of that boat, that fishing boat that everybody got killed on?
Oh, the seagrass.
The seagrass. So in the original, we have a bunch of crusty ass sailors getting drunk. And they come across the pirate ship, and I mean, You get that feel. You have the music bumping. This one, you got a bunch of two horny guys with two slutty ass chicks, and you're like, I hope they fucking die.
No sympathy there. Y'all being stupid.
And on
Yeah.
top of that, then they get hacked off by invisible things. That pissed me off. Where in the original, you at least see like the hooked hand of one of the pirate dudes,
Mhm.
killing them. You don't see anything.
See, and what was really impactful of the first of the original version was that there's the romanticism of the sailor, the fisherman, the lonely fisherman, and they're out at sea and they're just trying to make a living,
Yeah.
and that's part of the whole the whole
Yeah, you can
feel.
almost hear. Yeah, you can almost hear like a sea shanty being sang by a sailor or something.
Right. And in this, you got, like you said, two horny dudes trying to get, trying to hook up with a couple of slutty broads. And it's, you like, fucking die. There's no sympathy there they don't epitomize, what the sailor is, what the fisherman is, and
Mhm.
the sea life. And like you said, the sea shanty and all that stuff. It's just, yeah, it's like they're on Lake Havasu, trying to get drunk and laid.
Exactly. It was stupid. Oh god.
Yeah. Now, what's fucked up is that the main guy, who is like the co-captain, because the captain is Nick Castle, which is played by Tom
Tom
Welling.
Mhm.
So his assistant takes the boat out and to do this stupidity. So they kill the entire crew except him, which kills the feel which that was in the original. There's nothing so haunting in sea lore as coming up to a ghost ship
Exactly.
and there's nobody there. They're missing, or they find the bodies. They find one body, whatever. But there's a mystery to it.
And there was
But
no build up either. Like
yeah,
they don't have all the weird shit, happening.
right. It
It's
just
like,
happens. And how fucked up is this? His co-captain, the black. He's a black dude, right?
mhm.
All these white folk get killed. Cops come down. Yo, man, you're a suspect.
That's fucked up. He was in a freaking. He was in a freezer.
Yeah, he hid in a freezer to survive. And these white cops come over to him and say, we need to speak to you. You're our leading suspect. Why? Because he's black?
They have no proof on that shit either. Oh god, that was just so annoying.
And how stupid was this so-called police investigation? What a joke. I mean,
God.
there's a fucking video camera on
That-
that boat.
And these, yeah, and how easy was it for them to swipe it?
Yeah. All they had to do is the video camera showed what happened. But no, what happens? These bumbling, dumbass Mayberry cops don't even find the camera. Then our wonderful Maggie Grace as Elizabeth finds the fucking camera, looks at the video and goes, oh my God. Now, you'd think she'd go to the cops, right?
No. She starts walking out, falls into the fucking water, gets attacked by seaweed, and loses the camera.
Yeah, I think it was a plot just to bring the black man down.
That was bullshit.
That was messed up.
That was.
But
Usually, I hate to say it, but a lot of times the first one to die is the black guy.
yeah,
But no, they just went total jacked up and made him the suspect.
yeah, and that was really, and there was no probable cause. I mean, granted, everybody's a suspect, right? In police investigation.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, now back to Elizabeth, Maggie Grace. Now, what a dumbass. I mean, first of all, again, let's go back. She gets the camera. Oh, what is this? Oh my God, it's police evidence. What do I do? I'm going to study it. I'm going to investigate. And she falls in water, loses the camera, right?
And gets attacked by seaweed.
Yeah, seaweed. Ooh, dangerous stuff, right? Then there's another scene which I found hilarious. If you catch it, you'll laugh. If you don't, you kind of glaze over it, okay?
Uh-huh, right.
When she goes to the church and she goes looking for Father Malone, right? At
Right.
night.
Oh yes, I think I know what you're talking
Okay.
about.
She walks up to the, I guess the rectory or whatever, and there's a door that's closed, right? And she starts pounding at the door.
There's
Father
a fucking
Malone.
lock. There's a fucking lock right there.
Right. Now you go, okay, you're pounding and oh, there's a padlock outside. Oh, what does she do? She continues pounding on the door. What the fuck is he going to do? He's going to slither his hand out through the crack and open up the padlock from the inside?
I think that's when I realized I'm like, okay, I'm fucking done with this shit. This is so stupid.
I thought that shit was hilarious. I mean, again, knock, 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 no answer. Oh, there's a padlock on my side. There's nobody going to answer the door. But she continues knocking. And
I'm like, really, bitch? You really think he's gonna come out that door? Oh God.
oh gosh, yeah, that was funny. And again, it's a scene that, a little detail that if you miss it, you miss it. But if you catch it, it will make you chuckle.
It's so stupid. Yeah, no, I caught that one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was hilarious. I mean,
think that's when my brain checked out. I'm like, yeah, no, I can't do this to you.
yeah, that's the blonde shit that gives poor blonde women a bad name. Okay.
Seriously.
Oh my God. But that was funny. Now, here's another aspect that I think where this movie failed. They give way too much backstory on the ghost, the leper colony people.
You know what? It got boring.
It did. They just went on and on and on about it. You got the flashbacks, and you literally are able to put a face to the quote unquote monster.
And see, and that was the beauty of the original. We did not know what the hell was out there to get us. We knew somewhat of what it was, but yeah, that bored me.
It did, and it eliminates the mystery of what lurks in the fog. It's the faceless evil.
Yeah, what I liked about the original is that from the very beginning, it gets your heart pounding. You feel the anxiety, and that's throughout the whole film. There is no pause to take a breath. This one, it pauses long enough for you to be like, okay, we're safe now.
Yeah, no, some of those pauses in this remake are long enough to make you yawn.
Yeah, for real.
And here's another thing that really I found. Now, I understand when you do a remake, you change certain things, right? Okay, if it was on a train in the original, it's on a boat in the remake. It's no big deal. It's just a small detail. It's not consequential to the plot. Here, the climax of the film in the remake takes place at the town hall.
Right.
In the original, it takes place at the church when the fog is coming in. All the characters pretty much converge onto this church, and the fog is rolling in and trying to break in and so forth. By changing the location changing it from the church to a town hall or like a city hall, that really, it kills it right there. Because to me, what that represented was the culmination of the battle or the presence of holiness and unholiness.
Good and evil.
Of both coming to pass.
Right.
And, the sinful or those who are cursed having to pay for their sins and so forth. I mean, there's just so much you can go with how the original was structured. And finally, okay, what the fuck was up with that ending with Elizabeth and that whole shining thing?
Shining thing.
Oh, God. So as it turns out, the name of the ship is the Elizabeth Dane.
Oh, come on.
And in this version, the chick's name is Elizabeth. Okay. Now, I found that kind of weird. I'm not sure if Jamie Lee Curtis or anybody was named Elizabeth in the original.
I want to say it was.
I think so. But that was it. It was just Elizabeth. Okay. Boom.
Right. Exactly.
And for some great reason, by mastery of John Carpenter's direction, you're able to separate the two and not make any connection, right?
Right.
But here, Elizabeth was the long deceased wife of the main ghost dude who she died and she went to the bottom of the ocean. And Elizabeth, the dumb blonde in this movie, is the fucking reincarnation of his long lost love. And at the end, in this climax, he brings her close to him, and he, this creature with this weird looking thing, and he kisses her, and he becomes normal, and they take off together, and then at the end you see like an old faded black and white picture. I'm sorry, The Shining, people. The Shining, you're not okay.
That was not necessary.
Oh man, it's at that point that had this movie. If there was still 20 minutes left to this movie, I would have just turned it off.
Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if anything, this is filmmaking 101 as to how not to make a remake.
Exactly. They had no respect for the original.
No. And, and you got, the master himself, John Carpenter. He is credited as a producer. And he described his involvement in this as, I come in, get my check, say hello to everybody, and I go home.
Oh God! Wow. I kind of feel like he abandoned. He abandoned ship. He jumped ship.
Yeah. Oh, good one. I like that.
I'm full of them today.
You're you're full of something.
Oh, seriously.
But yeah, it's a trip because they approached him to be more involved in this film, and he didn't want to. But he realized that this movie is going to get done with or without him. And with him, at least he gets a check and he can just walk away and let them fuck up his original film. And that's what he did.
He probably felt, why are they remaking such an awesome movie?
Yeah.
I mean, and oh my God, you know what? And I don't know about you, but I had a problem with the character that was Adrienne Barbeau's character.
Yeah.
I hated that chick that they got for to play her.
Oh, what's her name? Selma Blair.
Selma Blair. Okay, I'm not talking smack about her acting abilities or anything like that. I just feel that she was severely miscast.
Yeah. I mean, she was great. She was in Hellboy.
Yeah, great actress. I'm not talking shit about her abilities. I'm just talking shit about the casting choice. Okay, we have Adrienne Barbeau, who is a classy, sexy, sultry woman,
Right.
who happens to be a single mom. Very passionate, very capable woman, strong female. Then we see that this young lady, and I look at her. I'm like, did they change the storyline? Is it the big sister who is taking care of the little boy?
I get where you're going. She doesn't come across as a single mom
At all. I mean, you hear the kind of music that she's playing. When we first see her, I think she's giving herself a pedicure. I mean, she gives off high school college girl vibes.
Yeah, she does. And because, like you said, Adrienne Barbeau, sultry, sexy, very womanly, but she does portray the motherly instinct, the motherly vibe.
Exactly. You feel it, especially, when she's frantically calling out for help for her little boy.
Mm-hmm.
And this girl does nothing for, I mean, like I said, I'm looking at her, I'm like, she looks like the kid's big sister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They could have gotten somebody a little bit more, seasoned, a little bit more mature, to play that, part.
Yeah, it just did not work. Well, I mean, the film did really bad. I mean, Rupert Wainwright, this was his last director's job.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Good.
It was a critical and financial failure, and that led to his film career taking a dive. There's another one. And now I want to mention once again the late great Deborah Hill, and she was a producer with John Carpenter on films everything from Halloween 1, 2, and 3, The Fog, Escape from New York, The Dead Zone, Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh, that was a cool movie.
Escape from LA, and World Trade Center.
Wow. Ooh, another good movie.
Yeah, and so she was an accomplished, solid producer. And unfortunately, she passed away about a week before filming on this film began.
Did she? I had no idea.
Yeah. So now, budget at the time of this film was about $18 million.
18 million.
Yeah, which is about $29 million in today's money.
Okay.
Now get this, box office was $46 million, which is about $73 million today. So about 46. So it barely doubled what it cost. Now you factor in marketing, promotional elements, commercials, and all that stuff. It lost money.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can see how it really killed the director's career, unfortunately. But the Hollywood Reporter, he said that this remake, it lacked the scares necessary to satisfy its target audience.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, this is a ghost story. You want to be thrilled. You want to be spooked. And they had none of that.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Cinema Score audience surveyed gave it a C-. Yeah, that's pretty low. IMDb 3.7. Wow. Metacritic 27. Rotten Tomatoes critic score 4%.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
I think they were trying to say something there that they didn't care much for this movie. Audience score was 19%, and Letterboxd is at a 1.8 stars out of 5.
Damn.
Yeah, so let's go into our ratings and scores on this. I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll get this off my chest. Well, I good for them. They give it a shot, right? I mean, filmmaking is what it is. It's hit or miss.
Exactly.
And, but this one was unimpressively bland and void of any real scares. It was a total misstep in how to remake a film. So on the Filmjoe scale, I'm going to give this 2 out of 10 fish hooks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It's almost an insult to the original.
It is. It really is. Yeah, like I said, if you're gonna, do, I can't stress that enough. If you're gonna remake it, do it right. It was a slap in the face to the original. I hated the cast. They could have done a whole lot better. It felt really half-assed. They added shit that shouldn't have been, didn't need to be added. It felt nothing like a pirate's tale. Yeah, so I'm gonna give it. What did you give it?
I gave it a 2.
Give it a 2. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 for trying.
Okay, you're very, very generous.
I'm very generous. Yeah.
Maybe you know what? That 1.5 star hook that you gave it extra was because it had the same title, probably, right? Because the title.
Yeah. Exactly. I like the title.
It's definitely a forgettable remake. So we mentioned John Carpenter quite a bit in this episode. So we're going to recommend 3 top-notch John Carpenter films.
Okay.
So the first one is Escape from New York with Kurt Russell.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen it? Well, you got to watch it now. Otherwise, I'm going to have to kick you off the pod.
Okay, I'll watch it. I saw the sequel. I think I went with you to go see the sequel.
Yeah. I went to go see it in Westwood, and it was not that great.
Nah, it was alright.
But Escape from New York is wow. It's an action suspense thriller where it's a dystopian future where the island of Manhattan is completely walled off, and it's a prison. And the president is flying over. Plane gets into trouble. He launches in a special pod and he lands right in the middle of Manhattan. So they hire Snake Plissken, who is ex-military, ex-commando, ex-badass, and now number 1 wanted on the FBI government's list, right? Mm-hmm. So they arrest him and they say, okay, we'll give you freedom, but you got to go in there and rescue the president. And he has to go in there with all these horrible, dangerous criminals that are lurking the city and rescue. So it's a really freaking awesome film.
Kurt Russell, he's awesome.
And it's Kurt Russell. You can't lose.
Mm-hmm.
And what's great about it is it is a suspense action thriller, but it has elements of horror, which is pretty interesting. So you definitely got to check it out.
Okay, all right. I will check it out.
All right. And the next one is another film. I think it was before Halloween, I believe. Movie called Assault on Precinct 13.
Yes. Good movie.
Great film, which they also did a remake and screwed the pooch on that one as well.
Screwed the pooch.
Poor dog. But it was pretty bad. But the original, again, it's a suspense thriller that has nothing to do with horror, but it has elements of horror in it. And it's just an amazing suspenseful film. Super low budget. Great film.
It was a good film. Very good film.
Yeah. And the final one we're going to recommend is another Kurt Russell favorite of mine. Okay. Directed by Carpenter as well. Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I love that freaking movie.
I mean, that one, when I first saw it, I was a big John Carpenter fan already. And when I saw it, I'm like, what the hell is this? This is not John Carpenter, but it's fantastic. It has elements of fantasy, adventure, action, comedy, swashbuckling. And it's like, it has things where he's basically a truck driver who stops by Little China every now and then to eat or whatever, hang out with his friend. And he gets sucked into this underworld of magic, literally underworld of wizards and magic. And oh, it's fantastic.
Who's that pretty blonde chick? She was in Mannequin. Was it Kim Cattrall?
Yeah. Kim Cattrall's in it as well.
Yes. Oh my God. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's not what you'd expect from a John Carpenter film, and it's just a blast and just a perennial favorite for me.
Yeah, definitely. Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, it was fantastic. So what do you say we start winding this down?
Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
Let's go. All righty. So don't forget to tune in next week. We are going to do the best of and the worst of. So tune in and find out what we got in store for you. So definitely check that out. We really hope you enjoyed the show. Please help to support the pod by giving us a nice 5-star rating. Leave us a good review. Another way you can support us is simply just to follow us and or subscribe to us on Amazon, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Audible, Boomplay, or wherever you get your podcast fix. Also, don't forget to drop by our Facebook group, join our Facebook group, leave us a comment, let us know how we're doing. We're also on Instagram, TikTok, and we have a YouTube channel where we have all our current episodes on as well. So definitely check that out. You can email us directly if you'd like to thefilmjoepod@gmail.com. All these links, they're in the notes below. So please check them out. So Daisy.
Yes?
I'm going to give you the final word of the day.
All right. It's going to be a bit redundant, but for the love of God, stop making shitty remakes. Respect the movie. Respect the original.
Yeah, I agree. I can't put it any more perfect than that. Respect. And I think that's what it's about.
Yep. Respect it, man.
Especially with films like that are so loved or just so damn near perfect.
Exactly.
Alrighty. So with that being said, I'm Joe.
I'm Daisy.
And this is the Filmjoe podcast, where film talk happens.